welcome back to a special Who Would Win. We have a new member of the channel, name being, I believe, Laura Lay. Hi, you say you're new and it's your birthday, so you asked for Starkiller versus Crona from Starkiller, Galen Merrick and Crona from Soul Eater. You'd ask who would win in a fight, so I'm here to give it to you. I also know that this has been a request by Quentin Blake, if I'm not mistaken, and possibly also Samantha Blake. Yeah, so, anyway, so these two meet in a combat. Who wins? Galen Merrick is a prodigy of some in the Force Unleashed games, and secret apprentice to Darth Vader. He, as a child, his Force powers were exceptional, just as they were. He was massively powerful in things like telekinesis. He was a master lightsaber duelist, even matching someone like Darth Sidious in combat. At one point, he actually brought down a Star Destroyer, though it took a lot of power to do so. He actually had more difficulty with more nuanced Force abilities, though. It was all based on aggression. But he's a skilled fighter, able to recognize all the forms of lightsaber combat. He is also, his highest levels of skills were in Force Lightning, where he could actually just straight up kill someone with a single blast if he had to, and could even rival Darth Sidious, who was a master of that and loved using that technique. He was proficient in defensive Force techniques, as well as displaying great skill in Force deflection and Tudominus, which is energy absorption and just deflecting things with the Force. He could aptly deflect blaster bolts by imbuing his free hand with the Force when he could not rely on his lightsaber to protect him. The most prominent display of his outstanding skills in using the Force for defensive purposes are shown when he even is capable of absorbing the lightning of Darth Sidious, though not without immense effort. Another power that Merrick learned during the time as a secret apprentice was mind trick. He was able to control the minds of other individuals, especially weak-willed ones. Through this technique, he could compel subjects to do his bidding. Obviously, he could theoretically control a stronger mind individual, but it would take more effort. There's that as well. I mean, he used the Force combatively, especially the dark side, was outstanding. His sole combative training rendered him unable to use less aggressive Force powers. But after fully turning to the light, he overcame this limitation as he finally became capable of voluntary farsight, while he could not when he was still submerged in the dark side. At the same time, he fully retained his exceptional skills to apply the Force, including things like Force Heal, things along those lines. So, Galen is, and obviously he wields a lightsaber, which is a giant blade of plasma that can cut through nearly anything. It's literally just what a lightsaber is. Now, there are things that are definitely resistant to lightsabers, no doubt about it. And the question would be, could Crona survive a hit from a lightsaber? Let's find out, because Crona is the child of Medusa, who created this child to basically create a Kishin. Now, I gotta be careful, because Crona, I can't use he or she, because it's not known what Crona is. Crona's gender is actually not known. Not even their sex. Like the sex, their identity. What they are physically is not known. So they're referred to as Crona, or just, gender neutral terms. But the big thing that Crona has going for them is the black blood. It's a special type of blood that was developed by Medusa that gives Crona the abilities such as unique bonding between them and Ragnarok, which allows them to gain powers after Ragnarok eats souls and manipulates their own body by liquefying or hardening. Ragnarok is their what's the name of it? Is their partner weapon. And it's a pretty fun looking weapon too, I'll admit that. It normally takes the form of a sword with mouths, but can take the form of other things as well, transform. Crona has complete control over their black blood, which allows them to harden their skin for extra defense, manipulate the blood like an organism or like venom, and just manipulate it like a symbiote. Crona is skilled in all types of weapon usage. They share actually the similar minds with they share a combined mind with Ragnarok and being known as Black Clown. What the hell is Black Clown? I don't watch or read Soul Eater, by the way. Clown is a man-made clown created by the witch Medusa. Okay, so this was part of Medusa's plan. So there's that. Where are we? Again, highly skilled in Kenjutsu as well. after fusing, much of Crona's black blood related abilities expanded to very powerful levels. One ability is known as Thorn, where a special ability developed presumably from black blood allows the user to manipulate thorns in matter similar to Medusa's vector arrows. So thorns are prickly, and do they spread a poison? Oh, they do. These thorns carry a special kind of poison which spreads from their emotions, causing those struck by it to be unable to sync their soul wavelength with their respected demon weapon. Well, that's completely pointless in this fight, so really there's thorns. Black blood armor from the fusion with the Black Clown. Crona has additional ability to use their own black blood armor to increase their defensive levels, capable of taking a defense against the likes of Tsar Pushka's own attacks, even when assisted by the likes of the anti-demon wave. Basically, they're very durable. Then with fusion with Asura, using Black Blood's ability, Crona was capable of absorbing Asura into their body, tremendously increasing the intensity of their own power. Enhanced soul wavelength, which does the super madness scream. That's where the scream comes in. Enhanced thorn, enhanced screech, enhanced durability. So yeah, Crona though does have much of Crona's special powers abilities depends on their black blood, which is vulnerable to soul wavelength control related attacks such as the soul mass. The uses of such techniques can not only penetrate through black blood's defenses for eternal damage, but also temporarily shut down Crona's own black blood. Those graded with immense physical strength, such as Yuriko, have also proven sufficient up to crack and broken through black blood. Attacks originating from anti-demon waves, it won't matter in this fight, and due to the power of Madness Fusion, Crona can use black blood to absorb individuals. Should their will prove more powerful, however, Crona can lose being the dominant fuse and be promptedly replaced. This proved true when absorbing Asura easily dominated their fusion instead of him having be absorbed by Crona. They have many different techniques. But they're all just kind of variations on black blood and their soul wavelength abilities of like screeching and sonic waves. So edges, who has the edge? Well, in terms of like straight out damage, like straight out unpredictability, I would definitely give it to Crona. Crona also has the more natural durability thanks to the black blood. The problem ultimately stands with, while versatile with the black blood, the Force, Starkiller Galen's Force abilities are just as versatile, if not more versatile. Hell, telekinesis and Force defense can easily just counteract any of the black blood stuff. In fact, he might be able to even pull out black blood when Crona launches it and just kind of keep it separated from Crona to weaken Crona's connection to black blood. Add on to the fact that there's no real way of telling how a demon weapon like Ragnarok or Crona's body would stand up to a lightsaber. As the little I do actually remember of Soul Eater, I don't know if anyone ever had like a lightsaber-esque blade. Something that was like a hot blade of plasma that could cut through anything. I don't remember anyone having anything like that. My best guess is if Crona could resist the lightsaber making contact, it would not be without extreme pain and maybe even boil the blood. So while black blood would initially take the damage, it ultimately is costing Crona black blood to take physical hits from a lightsaber. So, and that's assuming that when Crona, tries to hit in with Ragnarok, that Galen doesn't just block with a lightsaber and immediately just cut Ragnarok in half. So, Crona's actually got a bit of a problem here because the Force in and of itself can easily keep Crona at bay. That's not even to mention the fact that Galen is a master of lightning, dark side Force lightning, which is so powerful he can actually instantly kill people with it with a single shot if he had to. That he could literally use the Force telekinesis and Force lightning to keep both Ragnarok and Crona up in the air while he's frying their brains out, boiling the black blood in their body. Even if Crona were to attack with range with things like black blood, again, lightsaber, force, lightning. And then there's the mind trick, which he ultimately when he turned to good, or turned to light side, where the issue here with the mind trick is that there are multiple minds in there. But if he does the mind trick on, say, Crona, and it does work, well, then one of the other personalities may ultimately take effect. And then he'd be fighting that personality. The issue also is Crona is not a stable individual. They're actually very passive, and they're very meek normally, and then are kind of pushed by their partner to actually attack, actually uh, uh, to actually go into the combat. So yeah, I mean, Galen also has just more like straight out combat experience and is a lot more ruthless, dark side and light side wise. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Crona would go down easy. Crona is certainly a tough cookie. But I think Galen's abilities counteract a lot of what Crona can throw at him. So unfortunately for Crona, I do think it's just going to be it will be a loss here. I think they'll put up a great fight, but they will ultimately uh, either die or just get completely thrashed. But ultimately, that is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think Crona will win or Starkiller? But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.